welcome to an almost Christmas edition of Ask Aaron. We are 7 days, depending on whether or not you count Christmas Day and today. We are 7 days away from Christmas. We are in the thick of it for Christmas season. We have service at 10 o'clock on Sunday and then a kids' Christmas pageant at Hill City at 6:30 on Sunday night. Christmas Eve service at 4:30 on Christmas Eve. Tons of stuff going on, but we're very excited, thankful that you're tuning in and that we are celebrating this Advent season together. This past Sunday's message was on peace, and we talked about all sorts of different stuff that revolves around the idea of peace and quiet, what it means to be still, how we find ourselves focusing on the right things. And so if you missed that message, you can go, as always, hillcityhudson.org /media, or you can check out our Facebook or YouTube pages. Would encourage you to do that. Anyway, I'm going to jump into some questions. As always, these are my answers, not the church's, but I think they agree with me. Especially on our last question. And then the comments section below is there for you to be able to write down anything you want to add to the conversation or ask another question. Would be happy to answer those for you. All right. So 3 questions this week. The first one is, did I hear you right? Peace is a choice. I said that peace is a state of where you put your mind, that where we place our mind, what we think about, what we hope for, what we desire, those are things that can get us closer to this idea of peace. And that definition of peace is what is important, because the definition from Scripture that we have is that peace means properly wholeness, that we are made whole, that we are experiencing this feeling of being whole or content, or that we aren't lacking anything. And it's also noted in my study Bible that a distinctly Christian idea of peace is the tranquil state. Now we're already right at a resort or in some sort of massage place, just hearing the pretty music. You know, there's Enya playing in the background. Anyway, it is the tranquil state of a soul assured of its salvation through Christ, fearing nothing from God and content with our earthly lot of whatever sort that is. In other words, we are so made whole, or we are so content with the fact that we have been saved by grace through faith, by the work of Christ, that we don't fear God or any punishment from God, but we instead realize that we have an eternity for us lined up in heaven with God, or new earth, or whatever term you want to use there, and that despite what's going on in this life, we are still content about it. So in that realm, or viewing peace with that definition, yes, I think peace is a choice, right? I think that as we realize what a gift salvation is, as we realize what it means to be assured of eternity spent with God, as we come to understand what it is that Jesus has done for us, we choose to see our lives, or to view our lives through that lens, and understand rightly that we have nothing to fear but fear itself. I just wanted to quote that. We have nothing to fear on this earth because we have the God of the universe, the God who created everything, the God who sustains and holds all of us in a way in his hand. We have him to go to be in relationship with. He lives inside of us and helps us to discern and decide what to do and how to live. Now, does this mean that you're never going to experience periods of anxiety? Absolutely not. Does it mean that life can't get loud and crazy at times? Absolutely not. Does it mean that you will always feel this state of tranquility and that you'll never have any questions or concerns or doubts or stress? No, it doesn't mean that. And so, is there an element of peace in an earthly sense that is sort of up to circumstances and life's goings on? Yes, absolutely, right? There will always be periods of your life where things overtake you and cause you to feel stressed and anxious and not know what your next, day, hour, minute is going to look like. But in those moments, we can choose to remember the sacrifice of Christ, the promise of our eternity, and we can sort of refocus or recenter ourselves on that reality, and we can choose to be, as this definition said, content with our earthly lot, no matter what that is. Like, we can choose to say, yes, this is hard. Yes, this is stressful. Yes, this makes me anxious. But I know that ultimately none of it matters compared to the fact that my soul has been saved and I am made right with God. So in a way, it's a choice that we have to, focus ourselves on over and over and over, despite life circumstances. But in no way am I trying to say that you're going to go through life just never experiencing something stressful, right? There's all sorts of kind of weirdos out there who would say, oh, like, I never get stressed about anything because I have inner peace, or even Christians who say, like, well, I'm right with God, so nothing ever stresses me out. Liar! I'm quoting Princess Bride now. You get stressed. There are things in life that will stress you out. And as we'll see in our next question, even Jesus felt stress. Even Jesus was anxious. Even Jesus got, the noise got to him in ways. And so does this mean he wasn't perfect? Does this mean he wasn't content? Does this mean he wasn't right with God? No, it doesn't. It means that in a way, Jesus was human just like us, right? Fully man and fully God. And so he experienced the emotions of stress and anxiety and discontent, but was at his core, and when all was said and done, still okay with moving forward in this life and dealing with his earthly lot because of the wholeness and the tranquility that he had because he was right with his Heavenly Father. All right, next question. Did Jesus ever lose his peace? And again, going by our definition, no, Jesus never lost his peace. Jesus never lost the understanding that he was right with God and that he experienced before he came to earth and would experience again after leaving this earth, the right relationship with his Father, and that he would be with us and with God forever in eternity. So no, he never lost that. Did Jesus experience a loss of peace in an earthly sense? Absolutely, right? We see Jesus sweating blood because he's so anxious before he's arrested and tried and crucified. We see Jesus, this one's a little controversial, so that's Aaron at hillcityhudson.org, but we see Jesus kind of lose his temper with Pharisees and disciples. He gets kind of like annoyed, right? Like, come on, guys, get it together. Like, why don't you understand what's happening right in front of you and what's going on and what I'm saying to you? We see Jesus flipping over tables in the temple and just, the noise of that moment caused a righteous anger in him, and it wasn't peaceful, right? He was upset, but he was still right with God. So depending on your definition, we see this a little bit differently, but the reality is, going by the biblical definition of what real peace is, no, Jesus never lost his contentment and his assuredness that he was right with God. He never lost sight of the vision of why he was here and the purpose that he was here for. He never lost track of his love for us that led him to the cross. So that's my answer to that. And we've reached our last question. What are Aaron's plans for the Christmas holiday? What are Aaron's plans? What are we going to do? What does a pastor do? Well, here's the deal. This is a very busy week for the pastor. Like I said, we've got service on Sunday. We've got the Christmas pageant. We've got caroling on Wednesday night. We've got actually a leadership team meeting this week as well, just based on how the week fell in the month. And then we've got Christmas Eve service on Friday night. And then we do all sorts of great traditions. We have dinner as a family. We have steak and crab. We have saved up to be able to have steak and crab with the family here after Christmas Eve service on Friday night. We watch a wonderful Christmas movie called A Miracle on Christmas Lake about invisible hockey rink. Be sure to check it out. It's super good. And then Sunday, Christmas Day, we sleep in. We sleep in for the kids, not for me. We sleep in and the kids get up and we open all of our Christmas presents together as a family here at the house. And then we go to my mom's and celebrate there with the rest of our extended family and just have a good time. We do watch the California Raisins Christmas just to really get under my sister-in-law's skin. And, we basically just chill out. We spend time together as a family, eating, doing fun stuff, playing games. And then, that week between Christmas and New Year's is really where our family experiences vacation, where we just sort of sit around and watch football and get together with friends and, people that you don't necessarily see unless they're coming into town for holidays and stuff like that. So we have a pretty busy week during the actual Christmas season. And then that Christmas to New Year's break is why, why vacations were invented for pastors, right? You get a week to kind of catch your breath. And one of the things that we have done ever since we started Hill City is take the week after Christmas off because we want to give our volunteers a break. We want to give our staff a break. We want to, just make sure that everybody gets to experience Christmas and the holiday season with their family. And if you really want to go to church that Sunday, you can tune in and view somebody's service online. And, there's just plenty of options. You can go to another church as long as you come back to Hill City. But we really value everything that our people do, and we want to give them that break. So that's what Aaron and the family does. Hopefully you can share some of your own Christmas traditions in the comment section below. As always, thank you for asking Aaron. I will be back next week to answer questions about the messages given next week. But until then, enjoy your Christmas season. Hopefully you've got enough going on that you get to celebrate and not so much that it's going to make you lose your peace, except for you've always got it. I am so cheesy today. Anyway, thanks. Talk to you next time.